Volume eating 101. Have you ever tried a diet before and maybe you decrease your portion size a bit, you change some foods up, but you found yourself being so hungry 30, 40 minutes after a certain meal? Yeah, that's probably because you haven't maximized the volume of your meals. First and foremost, what is volume eating anyway, and why is it important when you are in a fat loss phase and in a caloric deficit? Oftentimes, if you have a body recomposition goal or a fat loss goal, it's not always about lowering the amount of food that you are eating. You do want to make swaps to the foods that you are eating so that you can eat a bigger quantity of your food. And as a result, you are going to be focusing on the overall quality of your foods. Of course, fat loss comes down to calories in versus calories out. However, the quality of those calories is important for you to take into consideration when you are dieting. If you're in a calorie deficit and eating less than what you burn, you want to ensure that you maximize the amount of whole foods and nutrient-dense foods that you are eating. This is because higher quality foods will affect how you feel during the day and as you progress through your fat loss phase. Calorie content of a specific food depends on the macronutrients that are comprised in that said food. So different amount of macronutrients provide a different amount of calories per gram. Protein is 4 calories per gram, carbs are 4 calories per gram, fat is 9 calories per gram, and alcohol is 7 calories per gram. How can eating high volume foods benefit you? So most high volume foods contain a lot of water and fiber. I'm gonna list a few of the really good high volume foods just in a second. But what that means is it allows you to eat bigger portion sizes for the same amount of calories. 150 calories worth of potato chips looks a lot different than 150 calories worth of regular potatoes. And this is because the chips have added oils, they have been stripped of their water content, while the whole potato actually still has its fiber intact and it still has its water, and so it will keep you more full and satiated, and it's actually going to stretch your stomach, sending a signal to your brain that you are feeling full. So if you're somebody who is still hungry after their meal, maybe needs a snack half an hour later, this can be a sign that your meals are not as high volume as they could be. To be totally honest, personally, I don't like snacking because I like my meals to be voluminous. They keep me full, they keep me energized and satiated until my next meal. Before I go into the best high volume foods, I want you to take a look at this image. Okay, I want you to visualize what 400 calories worth of oil looks like, 400 calories worth of chicken looks like, and what 400 calories of spinach, eggplant, and beans look like. So as you can see, the oil doesn't take up as much space in your stomach as the eggplants and the beans would, right? So it's of course not going to make you feel more full and more satiated. So, feeling full is not about the amount of calories you consume, it's about the volume that you consume. Feeling starving all the time is not how you optimize your caloric deficit. You want to, again, maximize the amount of whole foods that you are eating because that is going to make your workouts feel better. You're going to sleep so much better. Your energy is going to be uplifted throughout the day instead of just thinking about your next meal and fantasizing about your cheat day over the weekend. If you enjoy your fat loss journey and if you don't make it feel like a diet, you are going to sustain that caloric deficit for a prolonged period of time, and it's not even going to feel like you're on a diet again, right? Because, a lot of my clients, they tell me, Magda, I'm craving nachos, I'm craving a burrito. That's fine. Let's make it a little bit more high volume. I always ask, what can you do to this burrito? Make a lower calorie version of it, okay? One example would be to do half regular jasmine rice, half cauliflower rice. What that's gonna do is decrease the amount of calories that are coming from the rice because you're doing half rice and half cauliflower rice. And of course, cauliflower rice is a vegetable and it's primarily just fiber and water, with a little bit of minerals and micronutrients as well. So you're going to be adding bulk, you're going to be adding more volume to that said burrito just making that simple switch, but also having best of both worlds because you're adding some jasmine rice and some starch in there as well, which will definitely psychologically satiate you as well. One of the best high volume foods is watermelon. It is 92% water. It is definitely a good sweet treat. My second favorite high volume food is fish. It is relatively lower in fat, very high in omega-3 fatty acids, depending on the type of fish that you get, wild versus farm. For the most part, you can eat a lot of it for not a lot of calories. Also, you can increase the amount of protein you eat from the fish, which will definitely help with building muscle. Another great option is, of course, my personal favorite, chicken breast. Chicken breast is very low in fat, very high in protein, and what you want to understand is that yes, chicken breast and fish are very high protein. What you want to understand is that chicken breast definitely has a lot of protein, but why this is important is because it has the highest thermic effect of food. So what that means, your body digests the protein a little bit more slowly, and it actually burns more calories in the process digesting protein than it does carbs and fats. So if you want to increase the amount of calories you burn during digestion, eat more protein, specifically leaner sources of protein. Number 4, leafy greens, romaine, icebergs, kale, bok choy. Put them all in a salad, add some protein, add a starch of choice, and you have yourself a high volume meal. Number 5, cauliflower, one of the best high volume foods. Cauliflower is such a great high volume vegetable because it's so versatile. Like I mentioned before, you can substitute rice for cauliflower rice. You can substitute like a homemade pizza crust for cauliflower pizza crusts. I don't know. I've seen it all. The whole point is that cauliflower can definitely increase the volume and satiety of your meals because it contains a lot of fiber. Another one of my favorites are potatoes. Potatoes get such a bad rap because they are very carb dense and they're very starchy. However, I'm not talking about chips, I'm not talking about fries, because those are completely stripped of nutrients and they are deep fried in oil, which is also very low in volume. So potatoes actually have the highest satiety index of all of the starches because of their water content and fiber. One large baked potato is about 260 calories, about 6 to 7 grams of fiber, and it actually has 8 grams of protein. Pair that with a chicken breast, or maybe if you want a steak, have some veggies on the side, and you have yourself a high volume meal. So those are some of my favorite high volume foods. I really want you to remember to fuel your body so that you feel your best and also perform your best at the gym, especially if your goal is body recomposition. You want to feel good in your body when you are lifting heavier weights, you're doing more reps, you're applying progressive overload, and as a result of that, you are going to change your body. Let me know in the comments below what high volume food is your personal favorite. That's it for me, guys. Make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye!